I was the first security hire at Snap. They reached out to me to start a security team after a mishap with security. And at the time, Snap was already under an FTC consent for privacy. So we had to build a privacy program that could withstand the audits of the FTC yearly, but also build that program in such a way that it doesn't stifle innovation. The company was growing at a very fast pace, and we wanted to make sure that privacy and security could keep up with the organization. So we did that over the course of a number of years. And when I left Snap, I ultimately wanted to found TerraTrue because I believed there was a better way to bring the business as well as privacy and security together in a more collaborative, more proactive way that allows both of them to succeed better at what they're doing. So essentially enable the business to move faster, to develop more quickly, to innovate, to continue that speed of innovation, but also to make sure that privacy and security were built correctly from the get-go. And to be able to do that is a very difficult situation because not only you need a good team for privacy and security that supports the business, but you also need process and a solid process that ensures you're able to respond quickly to the business, to all of their concerns, and also to keep building privacy and security thoughtfully without adding more delays and more friction. And to do that is very hard. This is why we wanted to build TerraTrue, myself and my co-founder. My co-founder was Snap's first general counsel. I was myself the very first hire on security and ultimately became Snapchat's first CISO. And with TerraTrue, we built a very unique product. It's a platform that is designed to be proactive, to be collaborative, and to scale with the organization's needs. And really, what it comes down to is to be able to be proactive, you have to bring in the privacy and security professionals earlier in your development lifecycle and give them a chance to review the functionality you're building, give you feedback earlier on in the process so you have a chance to integrate it from the get-go without reaching sort of code complete stage and then finding out, oh no, my feature is ultimately insecure by design or has significant privacy considerations. So we want to make sure that privacy and security get involved early in the process. And as a result of that, can give feedback at the time where feedback is actionable and does not waste developer time, does not waste product time, does not waste the time of the business. And with TerraTrue, we developed this multi-case platform offering that brings together privacy and security professionals with the developers, with the product teams, as well as others in the business that need some form of review from privacy and security. For example, it could be the sales team or the marketing team that are setting up new tools or new campaigns or new partnerships with other businesses where they're sharing data. Or it could be the HR team that needs additional tooling for productivity, for HR. Any part of the business may need review from privacy and security. And TerraTrue is designed to help support them, empower them, give them quick and actionable feedback, and enable the privacy and security team to amplify its function, amplify its voice, and be a lot more collaborative with the rest of the business. One of the key lessons I learned over 20 years working in privacy and security is that developers want to move quickly and get feedback that is necessary for them to launch their functionality in a consistent, predictable way. And what we hear constantly from the market is that developers end up providing the same information to 3, 4, 5, or more review teams. For example, let's say a developer is working on a new feature that uses AI to provide more intelligence within their product, and that feature is leveraging some third party's AI offering to accomplish its purpose. That developer may need to file a review with the application security team to say, please review my code. I'm going to use this vendor. May also need to file a review with the third-party vendor team to say, look, I'm using a new AI provider. I need you to assess them for privacy, for security, for terms of service, for any other consideration. They may also need to file another review with the privacy team to say, please review my feature. It might have significant risks to users' data and collection of data. And what ultimately happens very often is that they end up filing each of these reviews using a separate tool and having conversations that are one-sided with each of those teams for the vendor review, for the application security review, for the privacy review, in some cases for product counseling, for privacy engineering as well, and for even architecture and cost engineering. And it becomes extremely prohibitive from a developer's perspective to be able to have these one-sided conversations with each team using a different tool, provide them again and again and again the same information to all of them. And then often what happens is they receive conflicting feedback as to how to proceed from each of those teams, because those teams are only looking at their part of the review and they're giving feedback on how best to design it to meet their own needs. And as a result of that, developers get very frustrated. They set up meetings, they meet with all these teams to figure out how best to proceed, and it creates a lot of friction to involve all of them. With TerraTrue, we've seen these firsthand, these kinds of issues, and we wanted to build a platform that addresses all of these reviews under one tool. So instead of a point solution where you just do vendor management, or you just do product security, or you just do privacy legal reviews, we built TerraTrue to support all these use cases together and to have all these reviewers collaborate together on the same review with the same information received. That way, they don't waste developers' time. They receive just the amount of information that is distributed to all of them in the same way. They all get notified. They all know what they're looking at, and they're able to collaborate on that review together across all these review teams. And as a result of that, give consistent feedback back to the developer. That ensures the business moves well, moves forward with minimum friction, is able to develop and innovate more quickly. And those teams are then more assured that they're not going to be bypassed for any reason, because there is no friction, because collaboration is high. And so they have their chance to weigh in, to give the right feedback, and to make sure that the functionality is launched safely, respects all the privacy, compliance, and regulatory landscape, builds user trust, and is protective of the company's systems and reputation. In the market, there are a lot of point solutions that cover each of these topics, but sometimes they're part of the problem. When you ask the business to provide you information on so many different tools, you're causing a problem. You're creating silos and you're creating delays. And the one thing about privacy and security, that is a golden rule: you should not delay the business whenever possible. You should be involved early on, quickly, give actionable feedback, work in lockstep with the business to make sure that they're able to accomplish their goals in the fastest, most intelligent way possible. From the founding days of TerraTrue, we knew we wanted to build a platform that is unlike any other, that supports multiple cases in privacy and security. We started with the privacy use case because at the time when we were founded, GDPR has taken effect and state laws in the United States were starting to form on privacy. So we spent a lot of energy developing solutions for how to bring privacy by design into the software development lifecycle and into reviewing any functionality that the business is doing that could impact privacy. So we built a lot of support for different privacy regulations, both in the United States, in Europe, and around the world. We built a flexible workflow system that can both address the needs of the regulatory landscape, but also give a chance to the business to factor in their own risks, their own considerations, automatically generate records of processing activity so that privacy lawyers don't spend a lot of time doing manual data entry. All of this is derived directly from the reviews that they've been doing. We've also built a powerful analytics capability so the team can quickly understand how is it faring in terms of supporting the business, where are the bottlenecks, how is risk evolving over time, and where they should continue to focus on building more and more hardening. Over time, we've expanded that platform to support more and more security use cases. We're now very strongly competing product in third-party risk management as well. We leverage AI and intelligence to be able to effectively and efficiently cut down on all the manual work that reviewers are doing. For example, we scan SOC 2 reports, DPA agreements, InfoSec policies, to be able to pre-populate workflows, to intelligently collaborate with your third parties. And we integrate all of that into your own internal privacy by design and security by design offering. We've expanded since to cover data catalog offerings, so you both can be proactive as well as have a compliance function that assesses that your programs are always faring well. And we integrate with a lot of data sources that organizations use, like relational databases, document stores, and others, understand the types of data that is being stored there, and surface to the business whenever we see information that wasn't reviewed for privacy and security. That could be a potential incident in the forming, so that the organization can take the right mitigation steps, whether it is to delete the data or review it and approve it. We're constantly supporting more and more use cases. Many of our customers today leverage TerraTrue for their trust and safety reviews, physical security reviews, product counseling, privacy engineering, and many more use cases. And we continue to keep developing more functionality to support them, to make it easier to integrate their own reviews into the overall privacy and security program and make sure that they're happy and they're able to give their best advice to the business.